Not that your album is your typical cabaret singer album by any means, but it is an album that mainstream people who don't want to know from New Wave
Right.
can relate to.
Yeah. The two songs that I wrote on there are My Clone Sleeps Alone. Those are New Wave-ish. Those two, and We're So Sincere. And the other ones are like rock and roll songs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna go crazy out of my mind, but I'm still gonna be a rock and roller. But I'm totally nuts into New Wave. I've always been. It's just that it's like you gotta go slow if you don't. I'm like real slow to move to these things. You know? Capricorns go slow. So
When
January 10th? What? Yeah.
January 7th.
Nice. They're the only people that should be allowed to be on the planet. They're so good. They're good. Organized, nice.
Not organized.
No?
I'm atypical. I have various diversionary interests in my
I'm
chart.
Absolutely typical.
Are you?
Disgustingly.
Well, that means you'll get there. I mean, that's the one thing that you can say.
I make lists.
Would you like to come into my house?
I'm great at vacuuming.
Oh, don't say things like that. What is the actual amount of time between, in terms of years, between when you first decided to deal with singing as a career and actually getting the album together? I know it's a while.
Yeah, well, see, I always, I sang always when I was a little kid in school and stuff like that. And then in about 1973 or 4, I was, my husband had been drafted and stuff, and we were down in Virginia or something, I don't even know. But I was working in a bank and going to college. I was a bank teller. And I just got sick of looking at all that money when I knew if I worked at it, I could sing and do good. So
and make some.
Yeah, so I started then, and I started doing cabaret stuff, nightclub stuff, and these sleazy bars down there. They had to wait tables, and then when you got a chance, you did your act, you went up and sang.
There's really no option to do what you want in situations like that, is there?
It's like it's another planet. It's like the Twilight Zone. It's different now, but then it was they didn't even have liquor by the drink then. You had to bring it in. It was it was terrible.
Oh, it's still like that in North Carolina.
Right, yeah.
That's where my sister-in-law lives, and my husband went down there to visit her.
He's brown bag it.
He asked for a drink, and they said, "I'm sorry, we can't do that."
Just give you setups and stuff. It's real weird. That's what I mean. That they have no clubs now. They do because they changed it, changed the laws and stuff. And then I just I played down there with the local band for 2 or 3 years. And they got real big down there. We did a lot of TV and stuff like that. But it was I don't know what they call them, a real lounge band, kind of thing. We did holiday inns and shit.
Oh, God.
The whole thing was totally fucking crazy. And then we came up here. I came up here, and I went to Catch, Rising Star.
Yeah.
Place, and I went there and I auditioned, and then I met Rick Newman, who owns it.
Right.
And he became my manager, and then it just went from there. So in actuality, it just took I did cabaret in New York till about 1977. And then I switched over to rock and roll. Because I always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I was just scared to do it because I sang good, which was bad.
You're not supposed to.
Right,
right.
which was bad, and I couldn't figure out a way to sing bad. But then I learned. I learned how to get gravelly and stuff. But it took a long. I mean, you had to all those voice lessons right down the toilet. You had to reverse everything you learned. So that took a lot of time.
So I mean, you were taking voice lessons when you were younger. And
yeah.
I mean, what had you planned on doing, musical comedy or something like that?
No, I was gonna be a school teacher. I had no intentions of going into show business. I just when you're in school and stuff, you sing in choir, so you do plays and stuff. I just started taking voice lessons. I only took them for about 2.5 years because they get real boring after a while. You can only sing so much opera, and then you're nuts. And I couldn't do it. It was so stifling. I got crazed out, and I just quit. But I took them for 2 years. That was enough to ingrain it in there,
Yeah.
So that took a long time to get that.
It is very difficult, especially for women when they want to do rock and roll, to decide how to present yourself, what kind of material to do, what kind of a band to have. I mean, did all of those things did you have to sort of confront all those basic
situations?
situations?
This weird thing happened when I started to do rock and roll. I started to do it like real slow, and I started to put like original stuff into my shows, my other show, when I was doing like Barbra Streisand songs, and like stick original tunes in, and then eventually I threw out all the other ones, and I had all original stuff, and then cover songs by other rock and roll people. And then I didn't have any idea what the hell I was going to do about like image or anything like that, because I'm not into being like masculine or anything like that on stage, but I'm not into being feminine either. Yeah. It's like androgynous. It's like just, I don't know what it is. It's not male or female. It's just different. And then they kind of decided the first time that I went out, we had all this press, and they kind of like set up this little thing that I was going to be, you know, which I didn't know that I did when I did it. And I still don't know what it is that I do, but whatever it is, I just do it, you know. So the only thing that bothers me a little bit now is that I don't want to be, I don't want to sing I hate men songs, you know. Yeah. I don't want to do that. You know, they either tend to make you real soft or they want you to be like real hard, and I don't want to do that.
You know who just said that to me, who has a tremendous problem, especially with people in England? Lena Lovitch.
Sure.
She, you know, they jump right on her, and she doesn't talk to male journalists about things like this. In fact, she doesn't even like to talk to them. But she said almost exactly the same way, and I just thought that was
it's hard.
Real
There's like no middle ground. You either got to be a sex crazy person, or you got to be like goody two shoes, you know.
Yeah.
And I want to come somewhere in there. I don't mind being like, they want to make it like sexy. That's fine, but I don't want to like that to be the reason that they come to see it or anything like that.
Because I mean, you know, you take a look at the album cover, and you know, chanteuse.
I know. It's really weird. It's, you know. It's hard to pick it. It's hard to guide it to where, you know, even when you do guide it, it goes astray. Yeah. You know, you just have to do it. It evolves, though. It evolves, like, from your live show. What you are on stage is, like, that usually just nails what you are, you know, when people start seeing how you are on the stage.
Yeah.
So, it's weird. It's like, scary because you really don't have any, you know, it's really not that much in your control because they look at you and they kind of decide what you are, you know, sometimes. Even if you try to be something else. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's hard.
Do you think that the fact that, you know, since you've really been starting, you've been married for a while, I mean, has that kind of given you, like, a certain amount of stability that, you know, to deal with a lot of all the outside garbage?
Sure, absolutely. That was, like, the whole stabilizing factor. I mean, you get all this shit and craziness coming down, and then you go home, and it's like calmness, and it's normal. It's like humans, you know.
No, because I felt that way too. I've been writing for 8 years, and I've been married for 7, and
yeah, it's like you have to turn it off, which I like to do anyway. I mean, I did this interview with this guy one time who was like, so after they did all these articles about the reluctant sex symbol, shit, you know. This guy said to me, well, this must be great for your husband. You know, you're always wearing your black boots. I said, do you think I vacuum in a garter belt? Are you crazy? I'm a normal person. I go home, I wear cutoffs. What are you, nuts? I said, I grew up on Long Island. It doesn't change your whole life. I mean, you're not like, what you are on stage is not what you're on, you know, in the house. I mean, you don't walk around like playing guitar all day. You're not out of your mind, you know. I don't know, maybe some people are, but I mean.
Young kids who see only an preset image often think that way.
Sure.
I have people coming up to me, you know, like not even so young, but people who are teachers or psychologists or whatever, and they go, oh, you deal with all these rock and roll people all the time.
I know
that. I can't imagine what it's like, you know, like
they think
for
you're sometimes they think you're unintelligent. True. They think you're real loose. This is like the number 2 thing. Real crazy. Every time I see my family or anybody that I know from like school or anything like that, they say to me, so you're like in rock and roll, you're doing a lot of drugs and shit now? I go, no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing heroin. You know, I'm just like, sure. They imagine that you just go totally out of your mind. You know?
Yeah.
Which you do. I mean, I'm not like, I don't watch Mr. Rogers or anything like that. You know, and I do a lot of crazy stuff, but I'm still normal. You know.
Yeah.
You can't grow up on Long Island and not have a little bit of normalcy in you.
Where on the island did you grow up?
The South Shore in Lindenhurst.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, you got to see your mother sometimes. Your mother, she's a your hair is blue. I don't understand, you know. That kind of makes you go back to zero, and you wash your hair out.
So you've gone through those kind of phases.
Oh, sure. My mother,
blue hair.
I haven't seen my parents in like, I mean, they live right here, and I'm so busy. I never seen them. She's coming here today. I can't believe it.
Oh well, you don't have blue hair anymore.
No, it's like it's regular today. She's coming here today. She's like, where's that?
Could have gone with his shirt.
I know. That's what I do. I think with the ghost shirt. Purple's the best. Purple is cool.
Yeah. If I thought my hair could take a dye, I would probably do it.
Yeah, it was just
bright
a rinse.
red.
It goes in and out.
Yeah?
And then just wash it right out, like food coloring. It's great. It's great. It looks real cool.
So much for the cabaret artiste. I have never gone to one of those showcase type places, and I'm about as curious as to what they're like as I am about a singles bar, because having met my husband when I was first like really on my own, I never had to go through that either.
Right, yeah.
What are those places all about?
They're very weird, and they're like they're fun. They're very weird though. You go there, and you have to wait online, and you get a number, and then this is a catch on. I don't know about the other places too much, but a catch, you go there and you wait in the afternoon. You wait online, you get a number, and then you come back that night, and you go on, you know, in numerical order. And when I went on, I was like number 27, and it only went up to 30. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was like horrible. And you just wait around, and you just hope and hope that you're going to get on. Yeah. And you hope you do good. And if you do good, you come back. But I mean, there are people there that have no acts. They just go, people, you know, go on. Anybody can go. You don't have to have any talent. You just go. It's like a gong show.
It's like there's no pre-audition or anything.
No, I mean, people go up there, have no voice, have no material, no jokes, nothing. People go up there like ventriloquists, the thing, the dummy talks, and their mouth is moving. I mean, it's like hysterical. You see the most horrible acts you ever saw in your life, and then all of a sudden, every once in a while, you see a diamond come in. You know, and you just go, nice, you know. Funny guy, like a prince will come in every once in a while, or, you know, something like that. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And when I used to be there, they didn't ever have rock and roll at all. Nothing. And Richard T. Bear, I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I vaguely.
Him and I were the only people that did anything close to rock and roll. We just did it, and it was like, this was a total cabaret room, and they were doing like Judy Garland songs. That's what I auditioned with, was a Judy Garland song.
Really?
I can't believe it. I was so scared. When I finished, I kept my eyes closed. I didn't want to. It was the first time I sang in New York in my life, and I was so frightened. And I sang something like "Rockabye Baby," you know. Song. I was so scared I wouldn't open my eyes, and then I had to open my eyes because everybody was standing up and screaming. And so they let me come back. I kept coming back after that. But Bear, he produced like my first demo tapes like a long time ago, and we did like all this rock and roll shit after the place closed. We'd like play all this stuff, and he helped me out a lot learning how to sing it. You know. He was great.
What kind of people come to see, you know, to sit through?
So you get some really hip people, and then you get tourists. People with buses. They come in, they come in from Sweden. They don't even have any idea what's going on. People come in from Iowa that are like so flipped out because someone said fuck on stage. They don't know what to do. They're like, you see women many times a night going like this because they can't believe it. Because there's no holds barred there. You say whatever you anything you want. And then you get really hip people that come in, and you get, like groups come in, Curry comes and things like that. They come in too.
Does he? Yeah. I understand he's pretty much living in New York now.
Yeah, he is. And just different people come in, you know.
I just want to check if you want anything to drink.
No, I'm eating Oreo cookies here. Oreo cookies, nice.
Yeah, we're classy here.
Great.
So it's really a mix.
Yeah, it's lots of fun though. I mean, the show goes on from like 9:30 or 3:30 in the morning, and it's continuous. And you just get so comedied out of your mind, you can't believe it. It's a lot of comedians, a lot of crazies, you know. But it's fun. You go there I go there, and hang out. It's like kindergarten. You know.
Do you really? So you still
sure.
You go back there a lot.
Sure, I go there to hang. Because Rick is there, and all my friends are there that I grew up, And I go there just to hang out. I don't sing there anymore because I can't. It's impossible. We can't have, 4 guitars and drums blasting away. The room is too little and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's nice to just, every once in a while I do a ballad there or something. And it's fun. It's nice.